Good morning and happy Monday. It's day 67 of Walk with Winston, and greetings from Tampa. Ooh, you can almost feel fall in the air. We've got a couple more weeks of the tropical season here, as you can see by the fact that we've got Tropical Storm Michael, that is off our coast and threatening our friends in the Gulf and the Panhandle and lower Gulf. So my prayers are with you guys as you prepare for this storm. You guys know at this point that when I share on these videos, the advice or the suggestions, encouragement that I'm providing is also very much directed at my own experience and the things I'm going through in my own life and transformation. So I hope that by sharing my story, it gives you encouragement and gives you something to consider in your own transformational journey. So this I'd say since Thursday or Friday this weekend, I've been really digging into my own mindset and the challenges that I've had with seeing more progress in my own transformational journey. And in digging into that some more, I've discovered that I have a lot of hidden beliefs about my ability to transform, and some of the things that some of the models that I have used in my past to help me transform my health, but I've been unwilling to consider this time around. And I've been really spending a lot of time. Been spending a lot of time digging into that, trying to understand why I'm so resistant to those models of success from my past, or models of success that others have, and why I'm unwilling to take those actions myself. So during my devotional time this morning, the mental image that came to mind was one of an ostrich. When an ostrich is scared, they put their head in the sand and they don't want to see the threat that's around them. They're unwilling to explore it and look their fear straight in the eye. And that's a good metaphor, I think, for the resistance that I've had to evaluate and look into the challenges that I've had with my own physical transformation. And so over the last week or so, some of those practices have started to come back into play. I shared last week how I view the scale now as a feedback device and not something to be feared or to be set aside. Now, you can't put your identity in a number, but it is a very important feedback mechanism for the work that I'm doing. And so, some of the guys on the Fitness Focus Mastermind last night, we're all in the same place that I am. It's like we're doing the work cardio-wise, exercise-wise. We've all upped our game tremendously, but we're all kind of scratching our heads about, well, why aren't we seeing the results that we hoped for? I had made the decision after Wednesday's travel day that I was going to bring another tool back into good morning. I was going to bring another tool back into my arsenal as another method of feedback, which is to track my food and my water intake. And just, let's look at this as like a science experiment instead of, this psychological experiment. And so now I've started tracking my food in a food app. I love the app because it's a very, very accurate app. It has a lot of the things that you can buy from a supermarket or from a restaurant already preloaded, so you can really estimate the caloric intake and the various nutrients that are part of it. What I don't like about the app is when you finish the day, it gives you this estimate. It says, oh, if you will have days like this for the next 5 weeks, your weight will be X. And I find that to be very counterproductive, because what it does is establish this expectation in my head about the outcome and about the time frame. And there's just way too many variables in life to believe in that. At least that's my mindset now. Maybe I should shift that mindset too and say, hey, that's what's possible, instead of resisting it and fighting it. Something for me to consider. Anyway, I've taken the step of getting weekly feedback on the scale, and now tracking the food and the intake of nutrients, water and food, how I'm fueling my body. Been doing that since Thursday. And then on our 100-day challenge last night, I was really intrigued by one of our members who was talking about how she was taking a season to detox her body and reset her body for this new season of life. I really love our group of the 100-day challenge. They really, every week I come out of that call with something, some new insight, some new distinction that really helps me on my transformation. And I credit them for giving me the courage to look at my tools with a new set of eyes. So the 100-day challenge is still open. It is a group of about 40 of us who are participating in the Facebook group, and we have a regular group of about 6 to 8 that hop on to the weekly calls. I know it's a hard time of day to connect. Sunday nights are pretty busy, particularly if you've got young children, but we always put the replay up in the group too, in case you want to look at it later in terms of the distinctions we're all getting. So my encouragement to you today is, if you've got something that's holding back your transformational journey and you're not getting the results that you're looking for, take a step back and really evaluate what's going on. Be curious, reframe your results, and see if there are, particularly if this is something that you've already achieved in your past, go back and look at those models of success. And if somehow you're resistant to doing those same tools or those same actions that you took once before, dig into it and figure out why. Because it worked before, it can work again, but only if you implement and you are serious about seeing the transformation that you did. Oh, and one other fun thing from this weekend. I did my first photo shoot. I had a photographer here in Tampa that met me at the park that I go to every weekend, and we did a photo shoot for some, help me with my social media presence, to have some professional shots of me and in a typical Florida setting. And as I saw the proofs of those last night, I was a little taken back by my physical presence, and but rather than be upset with that or be sheepish about that, I'm saying, what does that make possible? Well, it makes possible my before pictures. I've got a really robust set of before pictures now as I step into the transformation and really work through those limiting beliefs that have been holding me back from taking the action I know is needed to get to the transformation that I desire. So I've got a great set of before pictures, and those will make a great contrast as we step into the transformation that I dreamed for in my life. So don't be an ostrich. That's the main thing today. If you're not getting the results that you are wanting, and you're resistant to taking certain actions that will support your transformation, dig into the why. Explore it, be curious about it, and reframe it. My reframe is give up the expectations and view this as a wonderful experiment and just see where the data takes us. With that, you guys have a great Monday. I'll talk to you again soon.